Hello, welcome to another segment of the special Queen's Park edition of Beyond the Politics, our examination of the events happening right here in the province of Ontario. Thanks to everyone with Bay of Quinte MPP Todd Smith's office, Minister of Energy, who made this possible by inviting us to the provincial capital to talk to some of the key figures, and they don't come more key than our current guest, Premier of the province of Ontario, Doug Ford.
Well, thanks for having me by, Paul.
So how exciting is it to be Premier of Ontario right now? It's an exciting time in the province, especially as we get ready to move forward into 2024.
Well, it's really exciting, and I always say I have the best job in the world, and I love getting out there and meeting the people and hearing what they have to say. So there's tremendous opportunity. You see what's going on around the world right now, and Ontario still seems to be going in a upward swing there, and we have a strong economy, lots of jobs. People from around the world and businesses want to come here to Ontario and open up, and we've seen that no matter if it's a $27 billion investment through the EV, I call it the EV revolution, electric vehicle revolution, or the $3 billion we've seen invested in the life sciences, pharmaceutical, and probably $15 billion in the tech sector, just to name a few. So we're doing well right now. I always say the people of the province get the credit because that's our number one selling feature.
And we're also selling that all over. When you talk about the EV revolution, right, a big plant's opening up in our area, in Hastings, Lennox, and Addington. So yes, areas which weren't necessarily considered major industrial hubs are starting to benefit from some of these investments. How great has that been?
It's amazing. They're looking for property all over the province. And this is kind of the hot place to come right now. We're the only jurisdiction in the entire world that have 6 of the largest auto and EV manufacturers in the world right here in Ontario. So it's great, no matter if it's up in your area or down in St. Thomas or down in southwestern Ontario, in Windsor, things seem to be going, and we've seen 27 billion, but we probably have another 30 billion in the hopper wanting to come here, which is incredible.
And of course, Ontario builds as part of those. There's been the investment that's enabled that to happen, and also the housing push that's still underway. How confident are you that that's going to take some big step forwards next year?
Well, we're doing everything we can to work hand in hand with the municipalities. They control the permits. We're making sure that we give them incentives, financial incentives if they hit their targets. We're cutting red tape and the bureaucracy to get these permits done. And we're going to hold people accountable, the builders that have MZOs, and they're sitting on the municipal zoning orders and they aren't building. Well, we can't accept that, so we have to make sure they continue to build at a rapid pace.
How important will it be to achieve those targets? I mean, the province is growing so quickly. In Eastern Ontario, where we're coming from, there was a 10% growth year over year per census. People are coming to Ontario, they need places to work, they need places to live.
It's so important. So we're the fastest growing region in North America, bar none. I talk to my friends in Texas, the governor, and the governor of Florida. They always say they're the fastest growing region in the United States. That's true, 1,000 people a day. And respectfully, they're about 30 million people in Texas, another 21 million in Florida. So that's 365,000 people a year going into those two big states. We had over 800,000 people arrive in Ontario last year alone. And so we're the number one destination for people around the world to come here and create jobs and raise a family and start a business. But the number one thing, we need housing for them. We set a record on purpose-built rentals last year and regular builds, but we have to keep the pace up. The reason the prices are so high is very simple: supply and demand. And we have to make sure that the Bank of Canada does not raise these interest rates anymore. They're killing people. It's affecting everyone. So any poll that I've ever seen, private polls or public polls or whatever they are, the number one issue is affordability. That means affordable homes, affordable gas when they fill up their tanks, and the groceries. And what affects that is this carbon tax. It is the single worst tax you put on the backs of people. It affects everything across the board. We deducted over 10.7 cents off a liter of gas. Just imagine if the feds would take away the carbon tax and get rid of 14.5 cents per liter. That causes inflation when they keep that 14.5 cents on. That's one area that we have to focus on. So we're going to continue working hard to put money back into people's pockets, and that's exactly what we're doing. No matter if it's a gas or the license plate sticker or getting rid of tolls on the 412, 418, helping people, the lowest income, 1.1 million people. They're getting a tax break, approximately $300 a month. And when it comes to businesses, we've cut over $8 billion per year of burden off the backs of businesses to make ourselves more competitive around the world and competitive against our number one trading partner, the United States, which we do approximately $460 billion a year in two-way trade. And if we're a standalone country, we'd be their number third largest trading partner in the world, next to Mexico and China. The only difference is the U.S. has massive trade deficits with Mexico and China. Ours is split equally right down the center. So we're going to continue making ourselves competitive.
When you talk about building and also, for example, the challenges we face in healthcare, it's also about getting skilled workers in, more training, clearing people. How much is that going to be a focus moving forward?
Oh, it's a full-time focus. Last year alone, we saw a record number of nurses register in Ontario, over 15,000. Since we've been in office the last 5 years, 63,000 nurses registered here in Ontario. We have 30,000, we call it in the hopper per se, ready to come on board in our universities and colleges. We've registered over 8,000 doctors since we've been in office. And we're putting $50 billion into infrastructure, building new hospitals or putting additions to hospitals. I always say, Paul, no matter where you live in Ontario, you're either getting an addition to a hospital or you're getting a brand new hospital. A lot of the infrastructure is aged, and we have to continue focusing on it. Since we've taken office, we have poured $20 billion into healthcare over and on top. So when we took office, it was about 60 billion, 61 billion. We're at 81 billion. But talking to the healthcare professionals, the doctors, the CEOs of hospitals, they all agree. We have to deliver healthcare more efficiently in a different manner than what we've been doing. Throwing money at a situation is not always the solution. Delivering the service differently, taking the burden off the hospitals, that's what's going to make a difference.
Now, we're already tight to time, but I'd be remiss, as a sports fan, if I didn't ask you a hockey question. So as Premier, of course, two hockey teams in the NHL, Toronto Maple Leafs, Ottawa Senators. Where do you fall on that spectrum?
Well, you know something, I can't take sides, but I'll be very frank. I grew up in Toronto. I'm a Leaf fan, and if the Leafs don't win, I want Ottawa to win. And just as long as the team, one of those teams, make it to the finals. So let's cross our fingers. Let's hope we break what was it, 1967, last time they won?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, as it ever. But I have confidence in the Leafs and the Senators. They're a great team.
Right from his mouth. So thank you again, Premier Doug Ford. This has been a special edition here at Queen's Park of Beyond the Politics.